I needed to get the thoughts that I have that are on my mind and bottled up inside of me, because a lot of times, we have so many things that are just tucked away and hidden inside, and we don't know how to express them. And I think in order for me to feel better, I need to get the feelings that I have out. It's more so therapy for me. And as the title of this video, one superpower I wish I had. I'll get into that in a minute, but this morning I woke up, it was raining, and yesterday I got some news that I was not expecting. My grandfather passed yesterday. I went to his 90th birthday party a couple years ago, and he was on the dance floor dancing and gave a beautiful speech, and I'm sure I'll probably insert some of that in this video. The words were very touching. Now, some may not realize, but my grandfather was extraordinary. And I mean, I guess everybody can say that about their loved ones being extraordinary, but I don't know how many 90-plus-year-olds still text. We text weekly. And during football season, we talked. During every single Charger game, back and forth. Look at this play, or can you believe this player actually did this, or whatever that it was. Whenever there was a touchdown, we would always send different emojis back and forth to each other. I talked to him recently, a few days ago. I just wish I wasn't so busy yesterday. And it's amazing sometimes how we get caught up and think that we have all the time in the world, even though we know that time is never promised to anyone. And I wish I could have stopped yesterday doing the things that I was doing, because they were really meaningless, I thought I had cried enough yesterday and that I would be okay today, but as you see, the waterworks are going. The one superpower that I wish that I had is life everlasting. Even if that meant, I'd be 1,000 years old, 5,000, 12,000 years old, wrinkled up like a prune, I wouldn't mind. I just wouldn't. I think in life, the only thing that does matter is life. Because there's so many things, like, a lot of times we'll wake up and, on the wrong side of the bed and be upset about this or that. And in essence, we were able to wake up to see another day. The one thing about my grandfather, he was in the hospital for some serious stuff. Not all the time, but when he went, he was staying in the hospital for a few days, maybe up to a week, for some serious things. But he always came out. He always came out of it. No matter what it was, he always came out of it. And when my mother called me yesterday, we were talking about the incident that happened at the Oscars. And I'm going to leave that exactly where it is. In the middle of my mom talking about it, she says, let me tell you what happened to Pawpaw today. And so as she began to describe to me what was going on that had recently happened, he was at home with my grandmother, and this was their 68th wedding anniversary too. My mom said that he was being rushed to the hospital, and she changed the subject. In the middle of her changing the subject, I could hear her talking, but for some reason I couldn't comprehend what she was saying because my mind was back to her telling me that he was being rushed to the hospital. You know, all these thoughts started going through my head, and I started to think, Papa goes to the hospital, but he always comes out. But what if this is the time that he doesn't come out? I talked to Gabby as soon as I got off the phone with my mom, and that was great comfort to me, especially at that moment. And moments later, the phone rang. It was my mom again, telling me the bad news. My grandfather meant the world to me. Was that father figure for me. He taught me a lot about football. Everything that I know, I learned from him. Everything. At one point, I wanted to be a football player when I was younger. And he said, all right, you want to be a football player? Camp starts tomorrow. So you got to get up super early and be ready. I was like, I'm going to football camp. I was so excited. I got up that morning and I was over at my grandparents' house. And I was like, Papa, I'm ready for football camp. He said, all right, now go sit down at the kitchen table. I said, sit at the kitchen table? I'm ready for camp. I don't want to sit at a kitchen table. And then he puts a big bowl of oatmeal in front of me. And I was like, well, what is this for? I was like, I'm ready to go to camp. He says, you got to eat that. You got to bulk up. This is the beginning of football camp. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know about this one here. I was like, I wanted to go out and toss the football around and, you know, you show me some plays and oh, that's a memory I'll never forget. Just wish I could have reminded him of it when I talked to him a couple days ago. Sometimes I often wonder, and I was told, never question God. Why is there such thing called death? Why do we have to endure something so gut-wrenching, so heartbreaking? Out of all the things in the world, that's one thing I wish I would never have to experience. In the comment section below, let me know what superpower you wish you had. Not 2, not 3, not 4, just one superpower. I have lots of memories with my grandfather, and I'm going to miss him immensely. But like I was saying before, the last time that I went out to California, it was to celebrate his 90th birthday. And that was 2019, right before the pandemic. And on my grandfather's 90th birthday, he gave this speech that was so phenomenal to me. I'll insert some parts of that speech in here. If you choose to listen to it, you may get something from it. I know I did. But here's some excerpts from my grandfather's 90th birthday.
Married for 66 years. I think you hit a lot of bumps in the road. I can tell you that. Young folks. But if you get a good support, like she were to me, I learned how to live a life with a sweet woman that you can hold on to And when you fall, she will pick you up. When I was that, I give God the credit. I give God the credit. We can't do things on our own, but we have to have help. I know God gave me a good helpmate, and I thank God for that. Because I know when I met her that day on that street, she was walking down the street. And I looked at her, I said, that girl, my cousin lived on that same street. I said, I'm gonna talk to her, I'm gonna ask her a question. I asked her, did she want to ride? I'm gonna recap it. She told me, no, I don't ride with strangers. But anyway, you know how when you see good things, you want to go back again. I followed her all the way home, man, driving real slow. The slow she was walking. She told me I don't ride with strangers. I said, look here, lady. I'm not a stranger. Just give me a chance to introduce myself. And I didn't let that day go by. And my cousin lived on the same street, but I go by there. And I had put some loud pipes on my little 49 Ford. When I go by there, I put the newt in and let it go down the pop. It's like pop, 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 pop. Guess what? She be running to the door. You know what I said that day? That was a great time for me. We got married and I said, oh boy, I'm glad I didn't re-enlist in the military. I lost it. So she's been good to me and I've been good to her. It's a tie that you have to tie and hang on to each other. And give God the credit. Because He's the one to give us the power to stay. So I want to say this. I thank you all for coming to celebrate my birthday. I want to thank my kids, my daughters, my son, for putting it together. I know a lot of hard work. Somebody called me one time, I said, I'm not in that. So thanks, and keep praying for us.